Alright, welcome back to our Be a GM mode commentary for the New York Rangers. We're here in the 2015-2006 season. We just finished up the preseason. We were 6-1. Our defense actually really stood on their heads. We allowed 3 goals twice, and everything, all 5 other games. We held the other team to at least 2 or less goals, so our defense is looking promising. Dan Boyle was the weak link with I think a -3, but other than that, everything looked pretty good, so I'm ready to go ahead and get started with the regular season here. We'll go ahead and sim up to the first game of the season against the Chicago Blackhawks. Alright, so waivers will be in effect starting October 6th. So Dominic Moore is already gaining increase in morale, so let's go ahead and see what people are having to say. May not have very many, but we'll go ahead and take a look here. Oh, okay, so Dan Boyle's apparently a problem in the locker room. I feel the locker room is a dysfunctional family. We may need a shake-up. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and, you know what, we'll give him a little bit of encouragement. If you want change, become a role model in the locker room. Lead by example. Alright, that apparently upset him. Alright, well, Dan Boyle, you're not going to be around much longer anyway, so that's fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and hold a team meeting. Get everyone ready to go. You know, this is the first game of the season. Let's get off on the right foot. Alright, I want you all to get out there and bring your A game. Yeah, let's go ahead and tell them to bring their A game. See, this is what I don't like about the player morale and the team meetings. I don't see how that could really make anybody lose morale, but alright. So we'll go ahead and get started here. I think the best thing to do is maybe take it 5 games at a time. For now, just to see how we're doing. So we'll go ahead and simulate the first 5 games of the season. Sometimes the buttons, when I click on them, they're not registering. I don't know if anybody else has that problem. Alright, so 3-0 to start for, let's see. So Tommy Hughes has been injured with a fractured jaw. Alright, so we're just going to have the assistant coach replace player in that one. Oh, we start off 5-0 for the season. That's very interesting. That's that's the kind of start you want. Typically the Rangers are pretty awful in October, so hopefully we can keep up this momentum. So we'll go ahead and look at the point totals. I'm not going to do this every time, but let's just see who's producing in that big stretch. Alright, so we had 3 point-a-game players. We had Kevin Hayes, Derek Brassard, and McDonough, and then we have several that got a good amount of points there. So overall, it seems like everybody's producing here, except Dan Boyle. So Dan Boyle's retiring at the end of the year, but we'll keep an eye on him. If he continues to just, be a locker room nuisance and not produce, we'll go ahead and replace him. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the next 5 games. Really getting off to a strong start's super important. Dominic Moore injured with a mild concussion. Have him on the left wing, so right now we'll go ahead and let them put Edom in there for us. Oh man, lots of player morale coming up. Yeah, we'll go ahead and look through this. Underperforming lately. Go ahead and tell him he needs to produce. If this slows down the simulation a lot, I'm probably just going to ignore it. I think the team is really gelling. Yeah, I think so. We're 6-1. But we can always do better. Okay, he didn't like that. Good performances are something that just come naturally to me. You can always do better. You haven't even played a game, Edom. I don't know why you're talking about that, but yeah, things are going nice. Alright, everybody seems to be happy, so apparently I'm going to make them unhappy with that, but alright. So we're 6-1. Okay. And now Edom's hurt. Stuff like that gets frustrating. But Dominic Moore's back now, so we'll go ahead and put him in there. I'm sure Rafael Diaz, Hafi is in that spot. So we'll go ahead and replace him with Dominic Moore. So it's good to have Dominic Moore back. We lost both games that he's been out, so let's see if we can snap that losing streak. There we go. Okay, Tommy Hughes available for the next game. Let's go ahead and put him back in. He's AHL defenseman. So we'll get him back in here. I think he was right here. He may not have been. You know what? I'm actually going to leave Bodai there. Alright. Okay. Oh, Kevin Klein injured with an injured hand. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get Rafael Diaz in there. Emerson Needham's ready, but we don't need him right now. So we're 8-2 to start the season. Whew. Injuries are going to be a bit of a nuisance. Hopefully we don't get too many. We'll go ahead and get Kevin Klein back in here. It seems like the team's doing really well. I think the lines are clicking. We'll take a look at point production again at 20 games. I'm not going to stop to check here. So we'll go ahead and do the next 5. The Maple Leafs aren't doing too well. So we're 9-2. Seems like we're scoring at a pretty decent rate too. Let's go ahead and get our scout back out there. So last time we focused, I think, on the WHL. We're going to keep it there. Just try to get as much of those players uncovered as we can. Alright, so now Keith Yandel's injured with an injured stomach. We're 10-2, so we're, my goodness. Alright, so Ryan McDonough is going to be out for a couple of games. Hopefully Keith Yandel comes back soon. My gosh. See, this is what's frustrating. Alright, so we're going to have to go to roster moves and call somebody out for 1 game, basically. I'm going to try to find someone that's scratched, and we will use them. That way I don't have to worry about redoing those lines as well. So bear with me for 1 second here. We'll go ahead and bring up Bernhardt, however you want to pronounce it. And Nash isn't going to be out long, but I don't want to get too many losses. I mean, every win's important, so we'll substitute him in every line, but we're going to go ahead and move him way down here. And then when Nash is back in 1 game, we'll go ahead and put him back there. Sometimes oh, we don't want that one. You know, sometimes I like to turn the injuries off, but I feel like simulating, a season's kind of pointless if every player, never gets injured. It's a lot more interesting to leave injuries on and have to worry about having the depth players and everything. But when you have like this many injuries happening, it's just kind of ridiculous. I mean, injuries, they happen and everything, but to happen this frequently and to constantly be having to go back and change things kind of gets old. So if that continues, I may honestly turn injuries down. I won't turn them off completely because, like I said, I think it makes the simulation a whole lot more interesting. But turning them down would be nice. We're not going to trade Toronto for a 3rd round pick. Alright, so we're 11-3-1. And Rick Nash is back, so that's good. So yeah, hopefully we won't have a lot of simulating where we're basically just constantly bringing people back. But right now the injury bug has been kind of rough on us. So hopefully it calms down here. Alright, I've hit B like 4 times. Can you all hear me hitting that? There we go, jeez. Alright, so 11-3-1, we don't really need to do anything. We'll go ahead and do another 5. And we'll see where we stand after that. Alright. Callie Anderson with a mild concussion. Alright, great. So he's going to miss 1 game, and we'll have to stop here and put him back in, see? Like I said, the injury bug can really make things a bit annoying. But hopefully that settles down. Because, it's not fun for me playing to have to constantly do all this, kind of managing the lines. It can't be fun to watch. Anyway, so we're 12-5-1. Player morale. Alright, so only one. Dan Girardi wants to compliment us. Alright, thanks a lot. That's nice, I guess. Didn't have to stop the simulation for that, but thanks, Girardi. Oh, that's a bad game right there. 4-0 loss. So we're on. We're on a bit of a losing streak there. All right, so we went 1-4 in that 5-game stretch. So maybe time to take a look at the points and our power play, penalty kill, all that stuff. So 20 games in, our leading scorer is Rick Nash with 15. Not bad. 8 goals. Oh, and he's only played 19 games, so not bad at all. Derek Stepan and Matt Zuccarello next. Oscar Lindberg is actually playing incredibly well. That's more than I could really ask for somebody that's on the third line right now. And then you have Broussard. So these all are good. And see what I'm talking about here with Kreider? He is a -4, and he has 8 points. Kevin Hayes, ±0, 7 points. Broussard's got 10 though. So for a second line, that's not good enough. So honestly, what I'd like to do, which I'm not going to do it this early in the season, but I'd love to find, an actual first line right winger. That way Zuccarello can go down with Broussard and Kreider, and hopefully bolster those guys. I think Zuccarello, the playmaking, he has incredible offensive awareness. Passing is really great. He has a good shot, but I think his passing and everything is really elite. I think he could bring them up, but we'll worry about that a little closer to trade deadline, or if, we really need to gain some ground, we'll try to go for something. So we're averaging 2.5 goals per game and 2.35 goals against, so that could be better. Our power play is 17%. That's not good. Our penalty kill is 79, so our penalty kill does need a shake up. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. I'm wondering if maybe the guys on there aren't physical enough, but we'll take a look here. So the power play is not really getting it done either. Let's look at, I'll tell you what, we'll go back. We need to look at who's getting power play goals and who's not. Alright, so Stoll. Jesper Foss seems, when you look at their defensive categories, they seem like they'd be fine here, but we'll take Lindberg off for now. Lindberg may be somebody that we put on the power play. And we'll put Stahlberg in his place. He's more defense. Yeah, he's more defensively sound, and he's a good body checker. We'll go ahead and put, we'll put JT Miller back here. He's not being used a whole lot, so I'm not real, against playing him a little bit more. He's a good player. So let's go ahead and look at the power play again. Go back to our stats here and see who's scoring power plays and who's not. Power play goals and who's not. All right, so go ahead. Nash has scored 3. JT Miller scored 2, so they're doing well. Hayes has 1. So Zuccarello is on the power play and has not scored a power play goal. 3, 4, 5. Who else is on the power? Kreider. Kreider hasn't scored a power play goal yet. So I'm thinking we want to do a little bit of a mix up there. Let's go ahead back to edit lines. I'm thinking that Oscar Lindberg, since he's doing so well, it might be good to have him on there. I hate to take Kreider off, though. But I think I'm going to take Kevin Hayes off the power play for right now, actually. And we're going to put Oscar Lindberg. I know that Hayes has had a power play goal, which is more than Kreider can say, but I really want to try to get Kreider going because he's, Nash is 31 years old. We want to get Kreider as, his stats up as much as we can. So anything we can do to try to get him going, we're going to try for right now. So that was a kind of a rough stretch. So we'll go ahead and do another 5 games here and see how that's going. Okay, so an overtime loss. And Mark Stahl's been injured. He'll be out for a couple of games. So not the worst injury. It's just, it's one after another here. And those are what really hurt us. I mean, look at that. And now Derek Stepan. So we're having a lot of tough luck here. Alright, so let's get Mark Stahl back in. I did notice there that we allowed a lot of goals in that stretch. So I'm actually going to put Mark Stahl back up here. Actually, yeah, we'll keep Girardi on the top line, but we're going to put Stahl and Yandel back together. I think that's really the best we can do right now. Losing Stepan's going to be a tough one, but hopefully we can do all right with that. Right now we're going to skip the player morale because we've had to stop a lot. So we're 14-9-2. Let's go ahead and do another 5 games here. That'll put us at 30 games. And we'll see where we are in the standings. We'll take a look at point production, everything. We are on a 3-game win streak without Derek Stepan, so. Alright, so Chris Summers is injured down in Hartford. Join the club, buddy. Alright, so we went 3-1-1 in that stretch, and Dan Girardi's injured. Alright, so I'm thinking we need to turn injuries down 1, because that's getting a little old already. Emerson Needham was apparently the first line center during that. I probably should have checked that, but hey, he did alright. Maybe we may need to slot him back in. We'll take a look at everything here. Alright, so right now we sit 2nd in our division. Pittsburgh Penguins are ahead of us. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and turn injuries down. I'm not going to turn... Oh, there's no slider anymore, is there? Let's see. Do general. Injury occurrence. We'll turn both of them down 1 because it's getting a little too much. So we'll go ahead and do that. I am going to go ahead and save the game. I don't know if many of you have played this, but a lot of times the menu system tends to freeze. And the last thing I want to do is be looking through a menu and it freeze and lose all of this after, doing the commentary for it. So we're going to do this periodically throughout the Be a GM mode. And it's just kind of just to ensure that we don't lose anything. Before any trade that I do or anything like that, I'll probably go ahead and do this. Alright, so 2nd in the division. Rick Nash is leading us still with 22 points, so he's continuing to have good production. He has missed 1 game as well. So 22 points in 29 games for Rick Nash. Only 12 goals, but, he's on pace for close to a 30-goal season, which in this game, for whatever reason, is a lot. Zuccarello's 2nd, so he's doing well. He still hasn't scored a power play goal, but I'm sure a lot of these assists have come on the power play. Stepan has 1 power play goal. He has 18 points in 24 games, so that's actually, I'm very pleased with that. Brassard's doing okay. The -3 I'm not thrilled with. Kreider has 1 power play goal now, so he's got one power play goal at least. Lindbergh is still doing really well, and Lindbergh and Miller seem to work really well together, so that's good to see. Jesper Foss has more goals than Kreider, Miller, and Lindbergh, so that's interesting. Alright, let's see. So Mark Stahl's at -5. That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. But that's not incredibly telling. A lot of our players seem to be minus players right now. Yeah, a lot of them are. Dominic Moore, Chris Kreider, Emerson Needham, he has 8 games played and he has 2 goals, so no, we're not going to put him in for anybody else. He'll continue to just be depth for us. So right now, our record's not the best. We are above 500. We're 2nd in the division, so barring a massive losing streak or anything that threatens our position, I think we're okay to just kind of continue here. We got to just keep getting the wins. Definitely don't want to miss the playoffs, especially considering we don't have our 1st round pick. But yeah, right now it seems like things are going pretty well. Hopefully turning injuries down will help, because I get tired of doing this all the time. And it, it's still on to where we will get injuries, but I think it'll be closer to realistic because, players don't miss for a bruised hand. Missed like 5 games for that often, you know. So let's see what Hank has to say here. Seems like management's really on the ball of late. It's great. Well, thanks a lot. No effect. Okay. Alright, so Zuccarello's happy. That's good. I need nice performances out of you. Alright, so Diaz. You know what? I'm sure you'll nail it, but try not to get complacent. Good. And Dan Boyle's still complaining. How's his points? 7 assists. He's a +2, so he's doing okay. You know what? I need you to be part of the solution, not the problem. Okay, so that got him. So encouraging him to step up didn't, but telling him not to be a problem encourages him. Okay. So he just wants tough love, I guess. Alright, let's get Dan Girardi back in here. You know, Diaz is doing okay. He's a very serviceable 7th defenseman. He's a +2. No goals, no assists, but that's okay. I'm not asking much from him as a 7th defenseman. They lost morale for being scratched. Well, that's part of the game, buddy. Sorry. Alright, so they're going to keep asking for Antti-Raanta, I think. You know what? I might actually take that. I'd like to get another couple of picks. I hate to trade with the Devils, but I don't think Keegan Iverson's going to become anything, and we might be able to get something better from a 3rd-round pick. So I'm going to take that one, actually. Alright, so we've lost 3 in a row here. Scored no goals there, 1 there. We did score 4 there, but we allowed 7, so not really the type of performance I'm wanting to see from the guys, and we have slid to 3rd in the division. So Nash is continuing to really score at a high pace now, though. I think he gained a lot of ground there. So he has 29 points in 34 games now, so that's honestly even better, and I think a lot of it, Zuccarello has increased to an 86. And I think that's helped out. Having Stepan back has definitely helped. Kreider, still not doing great. So that's kind of disappointing. Lindbergh has 2 power play goals, so that's nice to see. Putting him on the power play seems to be a good thing. Kind of surprised he's still listed as a bottom 6. Alright, so let's take a look here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's take a look at the power play and penalty kill percentages. Okay. So we've actually started allowing even more goals per game, so defense is a bit of a problem right now. Our power play has gone up 2%, so that's good. Our penalty kill has increased a lot. That's much better. Alright, it was sitting at 79 when we last checked it at 20 games in, I think. And it's now at 86, so that's much better. So it seems like the problem for us is even strength, and we need to score more goals. So let's take a look here at our defensemen. I like looking at them this way. It's a little bit easier to see who's, doing well together. Dan Girardi's at -4. Keith Yandel's at -1. So McDonough and Klein are really the only defensively responsible ones, apparently. I'm going to move Yandel down here with Boyle, actually. And yeah, we're going to keep it like that for now, just to see. I'm just going to try a little bit of everything right now. We're still in a decent position, and something does need to change, so let's see if those plus minuses can increase a little bit. A 2-1 victory is definitely going to help. But the thing is, losing to a West Coast team, it's still a loss. We're still not getting points. But I would rather lose to a Western Conference team than, like, right there we won against a team that could potentially beat us out for a wild card spot. So that's important. We want to beat these teams. It seems like this is a pretty good stretch. Let's end up, and yep, we ended strong there. So that was a good stretch. We went, I think, 4-1. The loss was to a Western Conference team. We did beat both Florida teams. We're 23-14-3, and we're in a very tight race right now for just a spot in the playoffs. It's still fair. I mean, we're near that. Yeah, we're at the halfway point of the season. Pittsburgh is ahead of us by 3 points. Carolina is 1 point ahead of us, but we have 2 games in hand. And the teams below us, Philadelphia is out of the race really right now, but these two, the Islanders and Devils, have less points than us with more games played. So right now we're looking okay. Let's go ahead and go to edit lines again. We'll take a look at the defense. We'll see if these plus minuses have changed at all. McDonough's has gone up by 2. Kevin Klein's has gone up by 5, so he can definitely handle a top 2 position. Stahl's has gone up. It's still a minus, but it's got better. Same with Dan Girardi's. Yandel's back to a plus, and Boyle is a 0, so I think switching the lines up like this may help. Yandel's a great defenseman, but I think everybody else that's above him has better defensive stats. Putting him down here with Boyle, is kind of a risky thing, but they get less ice time. It gives them more energy when they're on the power play, so hopefully that kind of just helps everything all around. We'll keep an eye on those two. But anyway, so things seem to be good right now, so I'm going to go ahead and sim 10 games, I'm sorry. We'll go ahead and get to 50 games in. We'll stop it if we need to, if we go on a big stretch here of losing. Alright, so 2 games, 2 Eastern Conference teams, and 2 wins. That's very good. Dan Girardi's happy. Let's lead by example. There, that encourages him. So, team seems to be pretty happy right now. So we'll go ahead and take care of all these. So Keith Yandel is not liking being on the bottom there. So it may be working, but it's definitely upsetting Yandel. So we'll keep an eye on that. If he starts to drop, I may have to move him. But right now the lines are clicking really well. I hate to do anything to change it. I mean, these are, we're on a big winning stretch here. And it's broken there, but it's a Western Conference team, so that's okay. Ooh, that's a bad injury. So we're going to lose Derek Stepan for about 3 weeks. That's not good. So I'm going to go replace player just to get through the 10 games, and then we'll take a look at everything. So Callie Anderson for a 3rd round pick. You know what? I'm going to decline that one right now. Alright, so losing Stepan's not going to be what we want right now. And now we've lost Kevin Klein too. Alright. So I turn injuries down and we get 2 injuries back to back like that, and 2 pretty integral parts of our team right now. But hopefully we can pull off some wins. Man, they really want Ronta. My goodness, see, that's the one thing that gets kind of old in this, is getting constantly bombarded by all these menus. The player morale I like. I think it's cool, but at the same time, it just makes the simulating go that much slower. I feel like I'm constantly like juggling spinning plates or something, like having to keep this one while this is happening and everything else, so that can be kind of annoying at times. Alright, so right now we're going to go ahead and move Broussard up to the first line. That way we don't have Edom taking face-offs and stuff. And then when Stepan comes back, we'll obviously put him back up there. So they want Zborowski. He's an AHL top 2. I'm going to hang on to him for right now. Well, let's look at his stats. Hopefully this doesn't freeze the menu, guys. If it does, okay. So he's 18. He's 58 overall. He was our 3rd round pick. I'm gonna hold on to him. He's still young. He has potential. Yeah, it's not an awful trade. All right. So it's not an awful. That wouldn't have been an awful trade to make, but we just drafted him last year, and to trade him for another 3rd round pick just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So Nash seems to have slowed down a little bit there. I'm sure losing Stepan is a big part of that. 39 points in 49 games is not bad at all. He has 19 goals, 20 assists. Zuccarello's still doing pretty well. Kreider has picked up a bit. 26 points in 50 games still isn't good enough, but he has picked up a bit. And Lindbergh is really running away with the opportunity here. I hope he does this in the real life this year. I'd love to see him actually continue to produce at a high level. Alright, so I think, we're on a bit of a losing streak here, but I think a lot of that has to do with losing Stepan, and we'll be getting him back in a couple days. So we'll go ahead and simulate to the trade deadline. I feel comfortable doing that. And we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt us here. It shouldn't, though. So we had 2 big ones there against Eastern Conference teams. Not only that, but teams in the Metro Division with us. Love to get a win here. Alright, good. That's a good win. Oh man, 49-5. Oh, and we beat them. Very good. And we have Stepan back. So hopefully this winning streak will continue here. Things seem to be going pretty well overall. That win against Pittsburgh especially was a big win. I know how close we are to them in the standings. So any win like that is one we absolutely need to get. And a loss against Philly's not great, but I don't think they're really challenging us for a spot in the playoffs right now. So, and we rebound with 2 wins. Hopefully 3 here. Okay, that's a loss, but that's okay. Let's just, losing back-to-back's not great, but let's, when we lose 2, let's win 3. And there's a good rebound. Okay, so a loss to Dallas, a 6-5 loss. That's kind of an ugly loss right there. Hopefully Ronta was in net for that one and not Hank. A lot of interest in Ronta apparently. Alright, so we win against the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets aren't really a threat for a spot right now. They're probably worst in the division actually. And we are in second right now, and we have a big game coming up next against the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are ahead of us by 3 points, I want to say. We'll take a look at that real quick. Alright, so yes, they're ahead of us by 3 points. And they have 1 game in hand, so we need to win if we want to catch up to them to try to get number 1 and have home ice for, 2 rounds, at least. Carolina is 1 point behind us, 1 game. We have 1 game in hand, though. The Islanders, it seems like after that, teams kind of drop off. So let's see where we stand in the entire league. We currently sit in 7th, so that's good enough for me. So our goals for 2.7 goals per game. Goals against 2.3, so that's gone back down a bit. We have a power play of 18.9, which, I would like it to be better. And our penalty kill is 89, so our penalty kill is still really good. Let's see where it sits in the overall. We have the best penalty kill in the league. Very nice. So I think, moving Lindbergh off, bringing in Stahlberg, and taking out Foss for, I think we put in JT Miller, clearly helped. We've actually had 3 shorthanded goals too, so that's good. So we'll take a look here at the point production for our players. So leading us still is Rick Nash, 20 goals, 25 assists in 62 games. Ryan McDonough's right there with him though, with 42 points. He is a plus 13. Oscar Lindbergh's continuing to kill it. 18 goals, 22 assists. This guy, this is rookie season. I'd like to see the other rookies, like McDavid and Eichel, and see how he's doing in comparison. Just to see if he has potential for Calder. Zuccarello, Kreider's picked up, so that's good to see. 36 points, still not great, but it's better than what it was. I'd like to see him be, 20, 25, 30 goal scorer, but you don't see that a lot in this game. I don't know what the simulation does to where, you don't get the goal scoring you get in the other games, but I'll take it for right now. So Stepan has 33 points in 48 games. That would be on par, I think, with Zuccarello and Nash. So I'm okay with that. Plus minuses all around are okay. The second line seems to really be our weak link. Mark Stahl's not doing good. Minus 10. So that's something to keep an eye on. Dan Girardi's a minus 8. Klein's killing it. Where's Boyle? Boyle's actually doing well. So, we're here at the trade deadline, and it seems like Stahl and Girardi are kind of anchors for this team. These are both homegrown defensemen. They've been with us their entire career. They've been a New York Ranger. And I know that they just got, these big contract extensions, but we're here at the trade deadline, and I wouldn't mind moving one of these guys. I would want to get somebody back that, could play on at least a top 6 role in terms of defensemen. Move Yandel back up to, the second pairing. And that would free up some cap space too, and that's going to be kind of important if we want to get Hayes and Kreider back next year and everything else. So I wouldn't be against doing that. I'm going to, in the video here, I'm going to take a look at some potential trades, and I won't make any trades until I get the recording back on, but I figure it'll be a little more, effective time management if I look at all the possibilities and then bring them back and kind of talk through them all after I've looked at them all. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you back here at the next video where we will make any trades we want and we'll get to the playoffs.